Yeah, hard work gotta be put.
YouTube on here?
I don't really chase some focus. Shorty, I can is it cause I'm working. Yeah, the East Coast where I'm from. Yeah, the 7-3 is what you dollars buy. Yeah, the half towns where my wolves reside. Yeah, I'm really trying to get it all right. My brothers in the West doing all right. I'm trying to get this money going.
Let me tell you. When I first heard this song, I was here with SB, I think, and we were like chilling. And I was just like, wait a minute. He said, this guy got a song out. I got to show you guys. And I was like, okay. When I heard it, I was like, okay, what's going on? Say sure. What's up, everybody?
Thank you.
What's going on? We are in another episode of Reflections with Val. As you guys know, we're going to interview a new guest every single time, and I wanted to introduce to you guys a new artist or visionary or creative mind, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, Dayshore.
Thank you for having me on, first and foremost. Yeah, I'm Dayshore. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff that we gotta, go over and have fun talking about.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
But what do you do for those?
I am a musician slash director, writer, and photographer. Whatever way you want to put that is your choice.
Right.
But I try to attack everything with the same amount of energy. It's challenging, but it's fun.
No,
it's
I
what
get it. That's a lot.
It's a lot of
so
love.
You're a photographer?
I do photography.
Okay.
It's not my crazy specialty. My boy over there behind the camera actually does photography. Like every day, it's his thing. He wakes up in the morning, breathes, and eats, and
Yeah, he looked at you like, you better switch that.
Yeah, because he's always on
Dimitri
it.
over there just.
He's always on it. He's always on it. I'm not. I don't have the love for photography as I used to when I first started.
Okay.
But it started to fall by the wayside when I started doing like music and film and stuff like that. I started getting more into that particular thing and
Where
building
are you
stories.
like from though? Like
I'm from New Jersey. Franklin, New Jersey. Was originally born in East Orange, and then when I was like 5, we moved from East Orange to Franklin, and I was just
East Orange. That's the original city and town that Whitney Houston was brought up in. Just saying, okay.
No.
So there's a lot of history.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Euphony about this, and I was like, Newark downtown is like mad legit because I'm from Patterson. And Patterson downtown, I used to never go up Newark, but when I did, I used to be like, yo, why isn't our downtown like this legit? Like it looks like a little mini city. And then I'm like, oh, that's because jazz is very prominent there. There's a lot of music history there. Yeah. A lot of great legends and artists came from those areas. I think Newark.
Whitney Houston's one of them. I'm trying to think right now on the back of my. There's actually like on the low a lot because a lot of things is funny when they come out of that town, that area. They don't talk about it once they move to another area. They just say I'm from here. But there's actually a lot of artists that are from Jersey. And
so growing up like in East Orange and then moving out and everything, how was your home situation like? Were you the only child? Did you have other siblings?
I lived in a house full of like there's a lot of kids, a lot of family members, and it was an interesting time, for me when I was younger. I don't want to go into too much details, but it was like it wasn't the greatest situation for me as a kid. But once I got out of that situation, I was in Franklin. Stuff started to kind of change and move to more of a brighter lighting, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Just another better viewpoint.
Yeah, and definitely always remembering not wanting to ever go back to that again. Just because as a kid. Just like, I'm not saying that East Orange is a bad place or anything like that, but wherever you are at, you sometimes could be a victim of that, and we had that early, when you were a child, growing up. So
that's true. Being brought up in a minority area, that does happen.
Just stuff happens, but it was an interesting time period. But then I try to like look forward and stuff and try to look on the brighter stuff. I was just gonna say, like, in growing up in that life and being brought up, is there anyone in your family that from like 5, 8 that touched that music influence in your heart? My mother used to sing a lot.
Okay.
She used to sing a lot. And my father reinforced a lot of that with a lot of the music that he used to listen to growing up, like Stevie Wonder and I can go on like for like days. You know what I mean? The Jackson 5 was a big thing that I like watching them. The Temptations. And Michael Jackson was a big one for me. I grew up when I was
Michael Jackson.
When I was 5, I used to watch him on TV, and I would try to do a lot of his moves and stuff like that. I
used to do the same.
Yeah, I think everybody used to try to copy and emulate Michael Jackson at one point in time. Yeah, it was either like Smooth Criminal or Billie Jean. Billie Jean was mine for like that video. For me, was the coolest video I've ever seen.
You know, because Michael Jackson, let's be real, we had a whole timeline when he was living of when he was African American Michael.
Yeah, exactly.
To the white Michael, right? So when I was growing up, I was like, I think I was attracted, or like my eye was centered on what I called him the Latin phase Michael.
Yeah, right. That's a nice way to put it.
Where he had the long hair. He came out
Latin
with
Michael.
Yes, he came out with Dangerous. You know, like that whole album for me was everything, right? And he came out with the leather jacket and everything.
Yeah,
I was like,
that was just a new
that to me right there. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
What is this? You knocked me off of my feet now, babe.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm in here.
You got the pipes over there. I hear you. You got the pipes over there. I hear you. Trying to sneak it out. I see you.
You know, but it's just that was them, right?
Yeah,
it was all Michael, but that's what pretty much was like, yo, what is this?
Yeah, that
like,
set the fire. Like
that
for me when I was younger, and then I feel like what kind of like brought it home was like me also watching Chris Brown. That was another guy that was actually very dope. Ooh. I don't like to like. Why you say why?
That's
why?
like the biggest. Okay, so every single person that I have come on, they're like, oh, you know, Chris Brown, he could, you know, come here and take Michael Jackson's place and blase blase. And I'm like, listen, we're not gonna do this here. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Like, we're not gonna do this.
Okay, so like, can I say something on that?
But I don't agree to
Nah, so all right,
okay,
so
I
don't
agree to disagree.
Listen, so like Michael Jackson, no one can ever take what that man has put on this earth. Like that, period. So younger people, what you need to understand, all of our generation needs to understand is that freaking Chris Brown is great in his own right, but you can't compare the two because they're battling two different worlds. Like Michael Jackson literally had the odds against him and was always able to make that, and then also tried to make like changes within his community and his world, and the world that he was around. You know, I haven't really seen Chris Brown do anything like that, but he's also been a guy that I watched more of his move and how he performed and studied that more than I would try to figure him out as a person. Okay. You know what I mean? So, and me watching him when he was like, I guess when Yo came out and Give Me That and stuff like that, when he was like in his prime, like yeah, and then he was just like in that type of
every girl would always try to emulate the girl walking away.
Right, yeah. Because that another thing too, that video was great to me, and it reminded me. His videos always remind me of how Michael Jackson would try to have the stories in his music video. You know what I mean? He'd have the person chase the girl, and it was always like great. It always like hit the vibes, and the way that they shot that Yo video was actually something. Because I didn't think that, like, 'cause before that I was doing crump dancing. Like I was a crump dancer.
Crump was a thing.
Yeah, crump was a big thing that I was like.
All those movies, Stomp the Yard, come out.
And before I even started doing music, I was dancing. Like that was my thing. Like dancing, being a dancer was my thing. And then he actually just like lit the fire further in that, because I didn't think like, people. Nobody was like, their style was not standing out to me as much as his.
Who was out in that time?
He had a Marion. He had a Marion. Don't forget about a Marion. Marion is the GOAT. Yeah, you feel me? And then you got
Mario.
Usher too. Usher's the GOAT. You feel me? I don't want to say Cisco.
I don't want to. Cisco was like 2099.
Yeah, people say he could dance, but he could do like a flip. But
you don't.
But
Neo was there too.
Neo,
he had Closer.
Neo's great though. Neo's great. I just don't put him on the same. Okay, so emulating style and emulating like moves and mastering it. Chris Brown has mastered different styles of dance on top of mastering how to dance like freaking Michael Jackson. Neo had his own style, always had his own style, never emulated anyone, never tried to, you know what I mean? So like you could tell that. You know what I mean? And that style just was like, it was cool for Neo, but I don't see anyone doing that Neo's dance better than Neo or trying to emulate.
Yeah, that's true. So, Neo had his own thing.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so like that's, you know.
It's like that's definitely like, you know, the whole vibes. I mean, I remember when Chris Brown dropped the single with Usher and Rick Ross, and I was like, yo, they did it.
That song was fire. Was
New Flame?
New Flame?
That was when I was like, what?
I was about to say Twin Flame.
To me, like, I think Usher killed it in that song.
Usher's amazing.
Like, he was like, baby, baby. I said, okay, Usher. I didn't hear that from Chris Brown's part, okay?
Well, Usher, let's be clear, yo. We cannot take it away from the GOATs.
He was
you feel me?
His whole body.
You can't take it away from the GOATs. Like Usher is like at this point, like I don't want to say like Tupac of R&B right now. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't even compare those two. They're not in the same. You know what I mean? Usher's more mindful in the game, and he's smarter, more knowledgeable, more wisdom. You know, Chris,
he just has
the
notes and the riffs and
the
runs.
notes. He knows his shit. He knows. He's a professional singer. Like he knows his stuff.
He's been in it.
If I was in a room with him, I wouldn't be saying shit. I'd be like, listen. I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, because he knows what he's talking about. I'm not, you know, but anyways, like those are two dope artists that I like, and also Miguel's another one that I definitely listened to when he first came out. What's that album? Like, Mommy, you looking like I'm just the type of guy that came to check it, that came to wreck it. No disrespect, but mommy, that's correct. You know that quickie. Yeah, and then that whole album, Sure Enough, the Sure Enough album, when he came out with that particular project. Sure Thing. I'm sorry. Sure thing. My apologies. When he came out with that particular. This love is a short thing. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. It be the cash, it be the rubber band, it be the match. I could be the fuse, boom. And then like, because you know what it was, and also Frank Ocean's another one. The reason why,
I heard you. I heard Frank Ocean. I told you that.
These are people. I was never like trained in singing, so I had to like figure my own self out, and it really had to go into me like actually making sure if you knew any of my friends, they all know that I do the most annoying thing where I'll play my song over and over again, and it's not because I'm being like egotistical and I need to hear myself sing. It's just because I'm trying to find the imperfections in my voice so I can work on them. You know what I mean? So that was like I had a time period where I was like that's where I was mentally with what I was doing. But I would listen to people like Frank Ocean, Chris Brown, even some of the older singers, and they would have, and I would realize that you don't have to like belch out like your notes. You have to learn to control them. Yeah,
which is what we spoke on.
Yeah, we spoke on that.
Literally, we spoke on it when I was at his
house. And you were right about all of that. You like it's because even when you leave, excuse me, sorry.
No,
even when you leave performing, when you leave, I forgot what I was saying. Fuck. No, when you leave
control.
When you're controlling your voice and you leave like I'm still like stuck on what I was trying to say. I just missed it.
When you leave,
you're editing this, right?
Yeah.
Please don't have me on this. Please don't have me. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh shit. We're stuck.
All
right, cool. But I'm gonna remember. Controlling your voice.
Belching.
Belching out your like trying to push it out, because that's what I used to do when I first started singing. I used to go like ah, and I try to like sing really. Sorry if that was loud for anybody's ear, but I try to sing.
You get
really really loud, and I would think that was singing. And then nah, it's not.
To be honest, that was my first mistake when I first started singing. My audition to my high school, because I had to audition to get into my high school. I went and auditioned to vocal, and for vocal majors, we had to have 3 songs ready, and then one our choosing. The other was "Children of the Future" by Whitney Houston, and the other one was "The Star Spangled Banner." We had a little soundproof room where everybody was test taking, so you couldn't hear what's being done in the soundproof room. The vocal instructor was there calling each audition, or whatever you want to call it. And I went up, I sang "The Star Spangled Banner," I sang it so loud that everyone heard me outside of the singing booth. I was like, and the rock, like I just going in, and I said I delivered it, yes. Yeah. And then they were both, the judges were like, girl, you are so loud. Yeah. I was like, try singing it in ooh. That's what she told me. Yeah. To sing it in ooh. And I said, sing it in ooh, like just ooh. She was like, yeah, just ooh. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. I sang it in ooh, like whatever. And then she was like, okay, you're in. I was like, all right, that's great. But I didn't notice that I was loud. Like I was wow, like I thought that this was to sing. Like if you told me to sing right now, like this is what I thought it was. Like you had to be that loud. And they were like, no, like so I eventually had to learn that with them. Breathing techniques, as I told
even
you.
recording is like on a different like you would think that you'd have to go in the studio and just start like screaming notes out, and you don't have to. You can just be like right how I'm talking right now and carry the notes on here, and then build it up depending on the song that you're creating or making.
I like that. That's good advice, because like that's something that I've been stuck on too.
I'm just trying to find things that work, and then if they work, I'm gonna try to see if it works for somebody else. You never know. Like it's about passing the love. And
so let's talk about that. Like before you even touch the studio, I want to talk about the time you started working your influences, and you started actually saying, yo, I like music, I want to try it, and let's see where it goes. How old were you when that happened, that transition?
I started trying to make songs probably like when I was like 16, and that didn't go over so well because songwriting is another skill that it takes focus and masterfulness on and stuff like that.
It is.
You gotta take your time, and you gotta like really also experiencing things as well is very important as an artist. Experiencing life and allowing yourself to experience, so you can build creativity from those experiences, because it's life, you living through your life. Correct. Artists, the most original artists usually have a story to tell, and then usually is a solid one, and it usually is something that they can be like, yo, like someone that's on the outside that may not be like knowing if no one can get me, but then this artist will come and sing something, and then they feel like oh my god, shit, they get me. You know what I mean? That's why like you see back in the day some people, when they were like building up artists and making them cookie cutter artists. Oh, this is they got the look, they got this, they're good. But you know what I mean? What it's coming down to now is just like you now have you have like, I feel like there's like a silent war between artists now. I feel like there
is a silent war.
I feel like there's like artists that try to stay traditional to the actual art of artistry, and then you got people that are trying to imitate it, and then you have this like, and then the industry is just trying to do whatever makes money. So it's like, it's weird. It's a weird mix. So you got these artists, and even when I was trying to do my music, I was like, fuck man, I don't know what the hell people want to listen to. I thought it had to be about what people are listening to, and I thought it had to be about what the industry wanted to hear. And I'm just like, I started finding it easier for me to write stuff when I was just like chilling with my boys, just drinking and just macking, throwing out bars and stuff like that. And then I started finding my voice through that more than I did.
So it was kind of like you guys got together, freestyled, improvised, and then made something out of it. That you were like, yo, this.
Sometimes
it would be that, but sometimes it wouldn't.
Sometimes it wouldn't be that. Sometimes it'd be a song that like you can't really vibe with your homies with because it's something more personal. So it's like you can't really be so
you'll just put it on the side, remember
it. You'll remember it, or you'll take the beat and you'll be like, you know what I mean? You'll be like, okay, that's something that I want to like touch, you know what I mean? And then you have like music where you're just like another thing too that I also noticed too, like I was also very fixated on like the sound of like sonically how I sounded and how that carried over to like people, you know what I mean?
No, before you even mention that, I actually hear that in your music.
Right, thank you.
Because the thing for me is very important is the sound, and I'm not gonna disrespect any artists or anything, but a lot of people that are like us working artists, they drop something, they rush to it, they only got that producer in the month, and they trusted an engineer, and then their music sounds very SoundCloud quality. The sound of it is just muffled. The sound of it is not
funny
clear.
You say that. So funny you say that.
I didn't hear that on his music.
So that was another thing when I was coming up with my music. That was a big thing for me. Like I didn't necessarily know what the f it was, but I knew when stuff didn't sound professional, like, and I was just like,
you can curse here. That's
I know. I have family members and stuff.
Okay. I respect
cousins and stuff. So I try to minimize it. But yeah. So I what was I saying? Yeah. So like back in the day, that was a big thing for me because I had a lot of, like, in my town, Franklin, a lot of artists do music in Franklin. Like, it's a big hub for like a lot of different types of artists and creatives. And what I would hear when I'd listen to somebody's music on a track or this and this and that, I would hear like, it's not done yet. That's what I would hear. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Sometimes it would just be the rough draft that they were putting out or something like that. But I was just like, yo, I have to make sure that is something that doesn't have, like, there's no static, there's no this, there's no that. Right. My voice carries over. And I also had a couple times, my boy actually has a studio in Highland Park, DML Studios. You guys can look him up if you're looking for recording or anything like that. And I used to test myself with him, and when he'd have time to record me, he'd be like, yeah, let's see how you sound in the booth. And I would just sing over whoever, like Frank Ocean or anything, and I would sing and record, and I'd play it back, and I would just listen to myself, and I'm like, yo, this sounds like shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this crap? I mean, and then that would really discourage me because I would just be like, can I even like do this? Because I would sing live and I'd be all right, but then when I start getting in the booth, it would be different. So that's when I started to realize, like, yo, I need to. So how
did you get through those hurdles?
I had to really be real with myself, and I had to start first. I had to go dial back and backtrack a little bit and figure out what I wanted to write. So it started like I wanted something that could push my sound, and I could control doing it live. Like, because also singing live was really like an anxiety to me as well. I was like, okay, I don't want to ever hit a on a stage full of people or nothing.
I mean, I've done
that. If you do, but
I've done that before and just finessed it, like, because like our vocal instructors would say that, like, listen, if you're in a performance, you're doing this repertoire, don't stop. Right. Don't stop. The show must go fucking on. Yep.
That's also what I tell actors. Like, they also know too. Like when I'm working with Sin or my boy Demi, or if they're in the moment, or if they're in the moment right now, like, the worst thing you can do is stop. I'm like, fuck. And I've done that a couple times too on my performances. And I'm like, yo, can you just play that back? It doesn't. It's not that it doesn't look good. It just like, it does something to you, like, here. Like, it doesn't give you that vote of confidence that you need for the next time you perform. So when you saying that, it's basically to reserve your own, like, energy and not being like, oh fuck,
discouraged.
Yeah, because once you do that, you're in it. You know what I mean? And it's hard to get out of it. So you got to be like, nah. Keep on going. Even if you mess up the lyrics, sing it again, do it until you hit it and until it starts sounding right to you. So
what was the first song you completed?
High Tide. High Tide was the first song that I created. I made that in probably summer of 2016. That was when I started. That's actually when I started writing it, and I finished it probably. I finished it. It was so my first project that I actually put out was called Awaken. And that's on SoundCloud. You guys can find all of the songs from that project on SoundCloud. I'm gonna drop 2 of the songs that I have, High Tide and Awaken, on all streaming platforms. But Awaken was a really, really challenging time because that was like gonna make or break if I become an artist or not. Like, I was gonna be like, fuck this, I'm gonna just do film. But I was just like, nah, yo, I can't do this. I have this ability to do this. I would be selling myself short. And I wouldn't be using the fullest of my ability in life if I just stopped doing that. So I was just like, nah. So I started working on writing. Right. So High Tide came out, and then I left that alone, and I picked up another beat, and I found the Awakens beat, and I started writing to that. That came really fast to me. Slower songs come faster to me than like faster songs that have a faster thing, because you kind of have to be like, you gotta be on it, what you're saying, and you also have to hit those moments and feels. Right. But Awaken, and I had and all those songs took within, like, I want to say like almost like 4 or 3 years to like try to put together. But it definitely got a lot easier. Product. Yeah, it definitely got a lot easier once I started like doing it more and writing and singing and recording, like do my little my demo track, and then I would play that back. I would write to that, and then I would go and get and finish it, and then I'd have to try to get into the booth and try to perform it. But it took a little while to put together that particular project.
I mean, that's true. That it's just gonna take time. If it's your first project and you want to
give yourself that time,
give yourself that time. Don't allow your audience to rush you. Don't do it at all. Like, this is your baby. Mm-hmm. This is what's gonna set the tone for you as an artist, as he stated. Yeah. So you can take as much time as you need. Like, that's what I'm doing right now with my first little. And
you can make it at any time and any age, yo. Don't ever let that ever either get on your side. Because it sometimes feels like when we're young, it feels like everything is moving so fast and we gotta be this and this and that just because of the limitations that society puts on us. But we can ultimately do anything we need to do by just remembering, like, listen, there is no future, there is no past, there is only now. You have to get everything you need to do now.
What was the reason behind High Tide? Like, what made you write it in the first place? Like, what were you going through?
High Tide was so High Tide, basically, the song kind of basically means just like live above your problems at all times. That's kind of like the whole meaning motto of it. Yeah, high tide, being above the high tide, flooding out the sunset, and it can get hard for you at some point in time, but like at some point you're gonna see the sunset.
Yo, that reminds me of so that same description reminds me of this gospel song called Oceans by Hillsong.
Never heard of that.
And it's basically the same concept. It's like and I will rise above the waves when oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours and you are mine. Like the waves keep coming, but I'm still choosing to rise above the waves. Like, and it's that's powerful. Yeah,
and it's also like, but that song, thank you so much. That song was like, I was surprised at that song came out the way it came out, because if you heard the rough draft.
Everybody always says that. If you would have heard the rough draft,
it does not sound like how it sounds now.
Like with it.
I was just like, y'all would be like, you sure you want to sing? You want to be a singer? So, but that was my first song that I ever wrote. The next one was Message from the Future. That was actually an intro to the EP. And then whatchamacallit? I had a Stubborn is another song that I did next after that one. But they all kind of correlate with what I was going through at the time. You know what I mean? Wow. Yeah. So they all were. I was going on a pretty rough time in that period. Like, I was like not working, and I was trying to like connect with people that weren't like in a place to even connect. So it was just like, it was hard to get.
I see what you're saying.
My EP even done. You know what I mean? Just because it's like I had so many blockades in the way, and everybody just wasn't in the mental space to even do. They were trying to do their thing. So it's just like, and I don't ever. And hey, like when people are, and you can't hate neither. You just let them. You feel me? You gotta dial back on what you're doing, and you have to remember what's urgent to you. Yeah, you have to. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way you're gonna even help them. If you don't take care of what's urgent to you, and you're like, yo, bro, I'm here to work and help you. Like, you're not really. They don't see that. You know what I mean? So it's like, but that was the most challenging EP I've ever made, and I think it's gonna continue to be the most one that I ever had, because I feel like because it was just, it meant more. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you're gonna be like, after I finished, I was like, yo, you're gonna be an artist. You're gonna do this. Oh
yes, speaking into manifestation and making it come to life. Yes. Now, when did film come into play?
Film has always been a factor.
Music was there. You said music's touched you at a very young age. But when did film touch you?
Yeah, film touched me probably about the same amount of time that music did. Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna hold you.
I just didn't know mentally. I just didn't know how to put that in that space at the same time. I was a little kid. I didn't know. You know what I mean? But Michael Jackson's. I don't know if anyone ever seen Michael Jackson. He had a whole tape that was.
He said a tape.
He had seriously. He had Billie Jean went into through all these music videos all the way to Smooth Criminal.
Yeah.
That whole thing was a little movie that he had that he had. I'm dead serious, and I grew up watching that over and over again. Me and my sister would go downstairs in our basement, turn that TV on and we'd watch that shit over and over again, and we would try to imitate his moves and imitate the acting in the film. So it's like it was like, so that was a lot of me being like, yo, I like film. I love. That was my sister. Action films. Yeah,
me and my sister were like that with Xena, the warrior princess.
Mm-hmm. Yo, mad. I had the biggest crush on her back in the day. Yo, I was in love with her.
We used to be like,
yo, that shit was that.
I used to pretend I had her fucking. I don't even know what that was.
It was like a ring, and she'd throw it and go,
throw that ring. Used to be badass. Go Xena. Like.
And they had a little spin-off too. They had like Xenon and they had Hercules. They had their own little Greek thing going on with that.
Right.
That was a good show back in the day. That was a good show back in the day.
No, but I respect it. I remember
no one
seeing
talks about her either.
Ghost, right?
Like where are these strong women? They talk about all this other stuff, but they don't talk about Xena.
Right, they want to talk about Wonder Woman
yeah,
now.
Like
she was the Wonder Woman.
She exactly. Back then, yes. She used to, don't leave me hanging, but yes.
She used to always do that though.
Yeah, but
I used to watch Ghost though, Michael Jackson, certain videos. I didn't know that all the videos made a whole like
but that's what
beautiful.
Mainstream media does. They take your little bits of art and does whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But he had that whole thing, but that was the first time I've ever seen an artist put like do their music and make a whole entire story, because now people are doing it now. Like you got like Frank Ocean, you got Beyonce, you got all these people are doing that now. But Michael Jackson started that crap.
Yeah,
bro.
He did.
He started that music video going into next music video, going into next music video.
Yeah, she started doing that with the Lemonade.
Yeah, that's all that. Yeah, and it made it very symbolic and just powerful. It's still great, you know. It's great.
Yeah. I'm not gonna knock it.
I appreciate work like that. You know what I mean? But no, it is.
You don't
great.
like Lemonade?
You don't like Lemonade? What's wrong with Lemonade?
What's wrong with Lemonade?
Visually,
Dimitri over here now.
Okay, all right. At least visually. Because if you don't like it visually, you lying. Because that shit was shot on the best cameras, huh? What? Yeah, but he didn't execute it. Not taking it away from Chris Brown's creativity.
Right.
You could tell that he tried to do that, but he didn't quite execute it. Because you never know what was going on their sets and how he was thinking. You don't know nothing. You don't know anything of how that process could have went for them.
Right.
So you know what I mean. But I definitely could see the difference between someone that was like, yo, I had this in my head since I was like 2, and then someone that's just like, he did that. I want to be able to do that, kind of like that too. You know what I mean? But he definitely was the second person that tried to like really do that.
Is. That's true.
But yeah, I think Michael Jackson tried executing it, and also Beyonce did a good job executing it too.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, let's see about that. But you got your films coming up.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to get something started off and something.
So when did you start writing your own scripts?
I think my first script that I started writing was called Lit.
Yeah. Really? Oh my God,
LIT.
stop it.
Yeah.
My congregation, we call our youth lit.
Oh yeah?
Lit. And the acronym is Living in Truth. I know, it's so cute.
Nice. I like that.
I tried putting it two together, yeah.
I like that.
I know,
That's dope.
like,
That's fire.
Living in Truth. Like, it's so cute.
But
yeah, so Lit. Talk about it.
Lit is a film that I one of my first. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about it because I'm not even like writing it like I'm doing the other ones I'm doing now. But it was something that I started off, and I was just like, I had an idea, and I was like, yo, I have to get this out of my head, and I just wrote about these 2 college kids. They going up, you know, to the creek, chilling, whatever. They hit this guy. He has a duffel bag of this drug, lit, and money in the bag, and they think he's dead, and they end up taking the money and leaving him on the side of the road, and then they come back to try to like see if he's all right to move his body, I guess, whatever. One of the dudes was like that, to move his body, and then he's not there anymore, and then that leads to some other, you know, mishaps, and they end up basically finding out this LIT, this drug, is like the new thing on the market, you know, next to like weed and cocaine and stuff.
How old are you?
I was probably like, when I came, I was probably like 21 when I did that, when I wrote that one. But fast forwarding now, I started writing again probably like at 28, and I started writing like sci-fi stories and having like little footnotes of solid sci-fi stories that I wanted to do. Because I also grew up watching Power Rangers, Star Wars, and by the way, I love this
yes.
thing. We already just had a conversation.
You could definitely wear it.
I would love to wear it. Not now though, but this
COVID's
going on and but this brought up a lot of memories. That's also when I started getting into like film and stuff like that. Is like when like kung fu was a big thing for me. Karate, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. Growing up watching these guys, Jet Li. I don't know if you see Romeo Must Die with Aaliyah in it.
Yeah. Okay. No. I've seen that one. Yeah.
No, you never seen Romeo Must Die? Oh my God.
Hold on. I've seen. Oh no. I might be confusing because you said Aaliyah. I might be confusing the Queen of Damned or like
totally different movies.
Yeah, totally different movies.
Totally. But Romeo Must Die was interesting because not necessarily the story. Because you know what I'm saying, Jet Li had that barrier, his language barrier that he had. So you know what I mean. I feel like there's only so far you can go with that if you don't work on that particular thing. But he didn't need it because he was great at kung fu. You know
right.
So
you're
good in America if you can do that. So, but basically, what stood out to me was the action, and then just like the creativeness of their shots. Like they had this one shot where Jet Li kicked this guy in the head and the foot went straight through his spine, and they did this like X-ray thing. It was like,
oh my God.
I was like, yo,
oh my God,
that was the dopest part of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, he used these toothpicks, and he's like, and you know what this is called? It's called the kiss of the dragon.
Oh my goodness!
And you're going to bleed out of your nose, your eyes, and your ears, and then you're going to die.
Yeah, that's epic. Like, that's epic.
Yo, it's literally the craziest movie. And then the fact that Aaliyah's in it, what? You gotta go see that movie. If you don't see that movie, you're bugging.
Yo, you're gonna make me want to watch it.
Tonight. Kiss of the Dragon. Kiss of the Dragon.
Kiss of the Dragon. Okay, yo, he's inspiring me right now because I like sci-fi films. So, did you like Harry Potter or anything like Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I was a big fan of Harry Potter. I was really hesitant about Harry Potter.
Okay.
At first, when I first watched it, because I like, what kid isn't like, whatever. I don't want to watch that. I'm not a nerd. But I watched it. You know what I mean? One time, Mom forced me to go watch it with her one day, and I went to go see it. Sat down, and I liked it. The story was really good. The different characters, the time they took in to making things look the way that they look was like mind-boggling to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Each movie, even though if you don't like the story or whatever, you can still appreciate visually for what it looks like. Same thing with Star Wars. You don't have to like the story or the actual thing that it is, but you have to be able to be like, yo, this is crazy beautiful. Like, really worked hard on what they did.
To take out the set, to put it all together, the outfits, everything is just all a part of it. Yeah. It's not just the script.
Something else that pushed me to even the Marvel movies that are coming out now, that had a big push to it too. Where I was like before Marvel, it was really hard for people to visualize what like superheroes kind of like look like. But the fact that they were able to add personal things that they went through in their life, they were able to add that onto their characters and made them more relatable to people. And when they watch it, but
that was great.
Yeah, you were talking to me about the glow. So
I was gonna say like that. Well, that is something that you could talk to the audience if you want. Yeah. Like the glow is a film that you're working on.
Yeah, the glow is a short film that I'm working on with my team at the house that I live in, and it's basically based off of, I don't know if anyone has seen The Last Dragon. That's another one. Have you seen The Last Dragon?
I've seen The Last Dragon.
Thank God. There you go.
That's why I liked it.
Yeah, so The Last Dragon was another show that I grew up watching when I was a kid. I didn't know the name of it, though. I watched it all until I was like 20, and then I was like, oh, it's called The Last Dragon? Because I would get it confused with Bruce Lee's movies. Mm-hmm. Bruce Lee's movies, because he had the Fury of Fist Dragon. He had always had the dragons, the last in his. The
Last Dragon is that movie with the dragon and the knight.
Say it again.
Is it the movie where the dragon and the knight share the heart? I'm trying to think.
No, that's not it.
That's Dragonheart.
That's Dragonheart. That might be Dragonheart. I didn't watch the whole Dragonheart movie, but The Last Dragon is a kung fu
definitely right.
So The Last Dragon is a kung fu movie that is I'm gonna try to reel it in for us, but The Last Dragon is a kung fu movie that was made, I think, after Bruce Lee's reign. You know what I mean? After he, rest in peace, he passed away from, prop gun going off. You know what I mean? Freaking.
Is that like? Do you think that was like a mistake?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was just gonna say because if he was a legend as he was, I don't think so.
Unfortunately, I don't think so. Because he was Bruce Lee was actually really riling up a lot of because their culture, they're very like embedded in their culture, so it runs crazy deep. So like when you try to change anything, like for instance, for his particular thing was kung fu. Kung fu had their own styles. They didn't mix it with things. Bruce Lee was mixing it with everything. You know what I mean? It's kickboxing, shadow boxing, and stuff like that. And he would teach people from the Western area this stuff, and people from like even like Africa and stuff like that would teach them. And other people within his community didn't like that. They didn't want him doing that. They didn't want him sharing their knowledge. They wanted to keep it to their culture and to them. And,
oh my God, Bruce Lee sounds like the Martin Luther of his own.
I mean, I wouldn't compare him to Martin Luther King, but I definitely would compare him to probably the Michael Jackson of, you know what I mean? But he did like definitely empower his people, empower people.
The Martin Luther of karate.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. Yeah.
Because like he was assassinated.
Yeah, he was.
Let's just, Yeah.
If you want to be real, yeah.
Everybody was like, we can't have this man. He's telling whites and blacks that they could be one. Like, nah, like
they can be empowered. They can be empowered. They can be empowered.
They can be empowered. And then here we go. You have this karate guy. Like, it doesn't have to be just karate.
Yeah.
It could be this. It could be that. And then
love the accent. I love the accent. Yeah, it's like be water, my friends.
It's like,
let
me teach you.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, I'm gonna kill this guy. He's starting this whole thing. Like, why is he mixing?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm pretty sure there was definitely like stuff in
that's exactly what it was.
It's crazy.
Bruce Lee. Damn, bro. I feel you now.
Yeah. It's like
I'm upset for you.
Yeah. There's documentaries that you can watch, and it's crazy like how it just doesn't. It's just unsettling. So when you get to that influential, you have to really start watching yourself. And that's crazy. That's crazy that happens when you're there. You know what I mean? But
no one's safe.
Yeah, no one is. We get to a point where you're gonna have to answer to somebody. You make too much money, you gotta answer to somebody. That's just how it goes. But so after that era, I feel like The Last Dragon came out, and I really stood out to me because The Last Dragon had a black lead character, and when I was growing up, that was really not a big thing. Like, you didn't see fighting characters that were like black. You know what I mean? You had like what was this one of the guys that had is it Show Enough? Not Show Enough. That was a guy in the film. No, it was like freak. He played in he did kung fu in it. He was in the Tyler Perry movie. Big muscle dude. You know what I'm talking about? What is it called? Black Dynamite. So Black Dynamite, what was his name? You don't remember his name? Yeah, so Black Dynamite was definitely a like he made like light to the kung fu world, and he was another black artist that did like kung fu and kind of like opened that world.
Black what's his name? Black
what was it again? Black Dynamite. Is he sure? Are you sure that's what it is? 'Cause we might be saying it wrong. Oh, Dolomite, yeah. Or Shaft. You ever heard of Shaft?
Okay, Shaft.
Yeah, Shaft is another.
I've heard of Shaft.
But I was more into the kung fu and the fighting because it was like really interesting, and I don't know. It's just a dope thing to watch. So, anyways, me and my boy Sin were watching The Last Dragon one day. Because we started talking about it randomly, and we started watching it, and we were just like, yo, this shit is the shit. No, like, who the fuck even, you know what I mean? So we just was like, all right, fuck it. And then like, I think our boy, SB was just like, yo, what are y'all doing? What are y'all not, you know what I mean? Like, what the heck you guys are in here watching movies, like,
what are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing? Like, so that kind of like incited us being like, all right, yo, let's do something productive today. And Demi came over and we just was like sat down, rammed our heads together, and we're just like do, and we put together this little project that started as one little skit to like now 7 episodes that we're gonna have of it. You know what I mean? So it was just like it was basically about this kid that lives in a house, and the house is kind of, I don't want to give too much, but it's kind of like mystical. This magic box appears that has the glow, and then he,
and then you guys,
and then let your imagination
run wild
from there. So, but it's definitely.
When is the glow gonna be released? It's a film that he's working on with his team. So just to let you guys know,
we are not gonna lock in a crazy date right now, but we are expecting it to be done probably around Halloween.
Okay, so that's a perfect time.
Yeah, we could either drop it. We probably either drop it or have something tease people with.
Okay.
So but that's basically what we have in store for everyone.
So be on the lookout for that, and that's gonna be released on YouTube, or
it's gonna be released on YouTube. We're also gonna do is it Vimeo, and we're gonna try to see what else platforms we can get it up on. You know what I mean, as well.
If you need help with that, just let it.
Yeah, we do.
Because like Amazon Prime, Joe knows. Yeah, he knows how to do all that, how to get you guys into the film on Amazon Prime, and so if you guys want to talk on that, he knows exactly what you guys have to do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we're here for. We're here to create and elevate each other. That's all it's about. Is there anything that you want to let your audience know that's coming up on your future projects currently that you're working with besides the film?
Okay.
That they can be looking some for.
Yeah, I got I have a couple of songs coming out. Be on the lookout for Mazda, and I have a song called Purple Butterflies that I'm working on right now. That may either come on SoundCloud or all streaming platforms. It's in the air right now. And I have 2 other songs with my boy. Well, one other song with my boy Sin on it, and and Mazda also has my boy Zombie on it. You know what I mean? Ziggy Zombie, he's on that track too.
Ziggy Zombie,
yeah, that's my boy. He's dope with it. So
he sounds funky.
Yeah, he is. He be adding that little sauce to it. So I needed him on that, and he came out and it was like I sent it to him. He was like, "Yo, I got you. I'm gonna have like 8 bars." He's already has it in the bag already. He's just busy with his stuff, he's doing. But that Mazda's coming out, Purple Butterflies, and I think a song called Lo-Fi. And Lo-Fi. And
purple's my favorite color.
Purple is
purple and gold.
I think it's a very mesmerizing color. Purple and hot pink. I really like.
Purple's a royal color.
Yeah. Well, it's actually the color of life. Did you know that?
Ooh.
Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
but
purple is the color of life.
Because
there's a reason behind it. Because like I think it's like has something to do with the way that like different stars shine, and then how they affect like the planet. And a lot of time it'll bring out like colors is like purple and stuff like that, depending on the color of the star or whatever. But like most things that they found are like usually have that color and that hue, purple.
Dang, that's deep.
Or pink. Yeah.
Okay.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
So those are your colors?
I like those colors a lot. I favor with those colors. I actually like my favorite colors are like in that spectrum because they can be hot or cold. You know what I mean? Like they could be hot pink, they could be hot blue. So,
he said hot blue.
I don't know.
Now before we go, I always ask this question to each guest, because it's really important to me. So if there's someone that's going through what you've gone through, that's battling something, that just started their artistry journey, what would you advise them? That they're stuck in a hurdle, they don't know what to do?
What I say for them is just try to like listen to yourself and try to push yourself to experience. Okay. And don't doubt that, because I feel like we get more discouraged not to do stuff than we do to actually do stuff. And that's like, I feel like our biggest, thing. What I would tell people that are trying to do with film or music, what I would tell them is just like, create, never stop creating, just kind of like, write any day you can write, film. If you shoot anytime you can shoot, you feel me? Collab with people. Don't, you know what I mean? And don't get offended if people don't want to collab with you. Don't get into your feelings. Just be in it. Just understand.
Yeah, because there's maybe a reason why that person
always a reason
isn't going to be in your
always
circle.
There's always a reason why. Exactly. There's always a reason why. We're all human at the end of the day, and you feel me? Like, you'll get over it. You'll get over it, regardless if it's you find out that's something that you want to do in the future or something that you don't. You know what I mean? You'll get over it.
Yeah, you would.
So, but I definitely tell people that are on this path, yo, keep going, don't stop, put your shit out every day when you can, and write every day, make music every day if you can.
Thank you for that advice.
No problem.
Love that.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime.
I enjoyed it.
Cheers. We'll see you guys on another episode. You can follow his music on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, all that.
My Instagram is day_short. If you want to follow my films and music videos and stuff like that, and I also do music videos if anyone is looking for a music video. Right Boy 22 and Vivid Vision Films.
You're gonna have to. Films.
Vivid is gonna be with the Vivid is gonna be double I, and then Vision is gonna be double I. Only on Instagram.
Okay, so, you better follow and support that, okay? Because he's gonna make a lot of good stuff. I'm excited, and you can follow our platform at SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff at Reflections with Val or Soulfully_Val. See you guys.